Hello everyone and welcome to Silver Shell's Bling Party. I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
And we are
the Bling Sisters.
And thank you for joining us tonight. It is Thursday night and we are sheltering in place and we have our quarantine show. On Sundays we plug our jewelry show, our jewelry at www.silvershells.live. So go visit us, our line of gorgeous jewelry, affordable and quality. And tonight we have Bruce L Hart. He's an actor, yay, and an advocate for the LGBTQ community. So welcome, Bruce.
Thank you. Nice. I'm so excited to be here. Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's very nice to have you here. Cindy's known you for a while, is that correct? You've been friends for a while and
added forever. And I told Cindy before we went on the air I'm wearing a hat because my hair is really messy because we've been sheltering in place, and I absolutely, unless I have somebody styling it for a show, it just looks awful and I just can't reveal that.
Oh my God.
Oh, vanity.
Vanity, yeah. All right, so you're down in LA right now. And you started, you're an actor, and you have kind of a niche. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say so. Yes, it kind of just, I use the expression cupidity and stupidity to wind up. I'm more of an LGBTQ actor at this point, but I have an agent and a manager, and I still do mainstream projects. I do television, movies, and things like that. So it's a little bit of both. I tell people when I'm in an LGBTQ project, I usually have a bigger part. If I'm doing a Lifetime movie, I'm probably the bank teller. It's just kind of how it works out, you know?
Right. Yeah, you're a big fish in this pond, and you're just a fish in the other pond, you know? But you do have 25 acting credits. And 25 since 2007, so you know that's quite a bit.
I will tell you something about IMDB. It's not always 100% accurate. I actually have more because I'll say this just once. I started actually in 1988, so I have television credits going back that far. But for some reason, when I added the L to my name, it kicked off the other credits, and they sent me a note saying, we don't think these credits match because you couldn't possibly be that old.
Oh.
And I thought for a second, I'm like, oh.
Well, you look like, from here, late 40s, early 50s, you know. You'll take it. And so, when did you decide, did you grow up in an acting family at all? Were you around actors when you were a young child?
You know, with the long arm of time, I will tell you, I grew up in a little town in Michigan that had a lot of money because there was one place everybody worked, and they pumped a lot of cash into the town to make everybody happy. So it was a wonderful time, and I didn't even realize it. Big focus on art and the arts. So there was music, and this is all free, too. There were several different tiers of community theater. There was a teenage theater group you could be in. There was one for kids. So we got exposed early on. We did all this stuff. And I actually put a little memory on Facebook. I was thinking about it last night because, I was bored. My older sister, the little stuff that starts coming out while you're sheltering in place. But my older sister did a part in a play called Guest in the House, which at the time, that's a classic show. Nobody does it anymore. She played the little girl. And I must have been really tiny, but the show made such an impression on me because I went backstage and I'm like, wow, this is how they make the thunder. The staircase doesn't really go anywhere. And I loved the show. I couldn't tell you what the plot was now, but I'm like, I want to do this. So when I got a little older and became eligible for those kids shows, I started doing them. And, competition was fierce, too. We get all mad. I didn't get a part in Winnie the Pooh and things like that. So it kind of set us up, all of us. We're 5 kids in my family, so it set us all up to be exposed to the arts at an early age. Yeah.
So your parents took you to all these auditions and made sure that you showed up, and they were.
Yeah.
Good for her.
we get a lecture like, I'm not taking you to all those rehearsals. If you get cast in Oliver, you're going to have to find a way to get to and expect you to be home. And, poor mom. But she suffered, she suffered for our art. And I'm sure half the time we were terrible, But I do want to tell you some, when I was in college, I was majoring not only in theater but in advertising because I knew I needed to also be able to get a job, right? I wasn't stupid. But I got cast in a road show. Not a road show of a single play, but it was one of these like variety shows that did little short dramas. Toured all around the country. So of course I dropped out of college for a while.
Of course you did. To join the circus. You did run away and join the circus. Okay.
It's really fun, but those shows, they don't have them as much anymore. I think there was one. Some of the amusement parks would do them too, but this one toured. It was a tent show. Had a big circus tent, and they put us up in trailers, and we drove all over. But my point is, I didn't realize when I was doing it, it wasn't just that we were cast. Like, I was cast for my ability to sing.
Okay.
We were cast for our youth, and it was a real teachable moment because you age out of those shows after a while. But you just can't get a part because you're 20, 22, and they want 18, 19, whatever, So it was an early education for me about show business.
Right.
I bet. So you've written stage plays also. You wrote 7 stage plays. Is that correct? Yep. And now one of them.
Yeah. How'd you find that?
I have my ways. And one of them, Homewrecker, was a stage play. Is that correct?
Yeah. So.
And they turned it into a movie.
If we roll the tape back a little bit, I did a bunch of TV. My first TV role was on Just the 10 of Us. Was an 80s sitcom.
Okay.
He's starting back here first. I went in as an extra, but I got upgraded to a single line in Dancing with Jamie Luner, who was the star of that, which is kind of amazing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think show business is so hard. I mean, I got a part right away, But what happened was I stopped getting parts. Well, you actually have to work at your craft, and I wasn't doing that. I wasn't studying. I just kept showing up and hoping to get lucky. A little bit later, I noticed that they don't do this anymore in LA, but there was a thing called 99-seat waiver theater. These were showcases for actors who wanted an agent or somebody to see them and then say, I want you to be on this, episode of Columbo or whatever.
Okay.
So I actually got involved with a writer. I didn't write the first show, but I said, I bet we can produce this thing. Let's go see a few shows and figure it out.
Yeah.
And we went and saw this play. And then I started cold calling everybody that was in the program that was a producer and asking them how they did it. And then from there, it just kind of spiraled. I started doing some of the writing, and we really ran a little shop there for a while of plays, and they were popular.
Yeah.
The Homewrecker play was actually called Naked Deception, and we chose that title deliberately because we were hoping to sell tickets, right?
Right. Actual, literal and figuratively, speaking.
And it was proof actually on bad gay theater. So, everything that could possibly happen in a bad gay show, including a little bit of semi-nudity, we did it. But it packed it in. I mean, we made a lot of money.
Oh, good.
But the critics didn't get that it was a joke, and we kept getting these horrible reviews like this. I'm like, I don't know. We're selling tickets at $25 a seat. We're packing them in.
Right.
Well, a producer came, a money producer, somebody who's got money, and they said, we'd love to see this as a film. And we're like, oh, yeah, right, everybody says that. No one's going to give it. But they did. They gave us the money. This does not happen anymore. This is, 2006, I think?
Okay.
Something like that.
All right, 14 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, I think the movie cost $200,000 to make or something like that. They just gave us a check for $200,000 to make this movie. No strings attached either. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. What's amazing is that you took that money and you actually made, you took that money and you made it.
This would be a good time for the Homewrecker trailer.
Okay, everyone.
I think we should.
So that is a setup. I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cindy Jenkins.
And we are
the Bling
Sisters. And this is our shelter and quarantine in place show. We're interviewing Bruce Hart, and he's an actor. We have some probing. We have a trailer we're going to watch right now. Homewrecker.
Let's watch it.
Let's go.
Okay, here it is, everyone.
I can't believe we're doing a reality series. We are so selling out.
Derek Hardy and Colin Lawrence, producers of that hit TV series Downriver, have a new top secret TV series in development. Weren't you supposed to be on Downriver? Didn't they fire your ass?
That was 5 years ago.
They want to go in a different direction with your character.
I've changed since then.
You sure have. You used to look like a marshmallow man back then.
Poor Boyd. I wonder whatever happened to him.
Do you really care?
Nah.
Mitch's cousin Sean, he's coming out to California for a week, and I said that he could stay here.
House guest?
Cousin of a friend of Derek's. He's here already? No, he wasn't due until tomorrow.
Well, hello. Come on in.
Is this your first time in California, Sean?
Yes. Don't worry. You don't even know I'm here. I'm in. They think I'm the Sean dude from back east.
I would like to make a toast to our house guest, Sean. Welcome to our home and our neighborhood.
Do you really think we should leave Sean alone in the house?
What could he possibly do?
Get on your knees.
My, Sean certainly is making friends fast.
Does Sean look familiar to you?
How can I get them to develop a new series around me?
What if they say no?
Oh, they won't say no to me. Not the way I look now.
You look gay.
Derek likes me. Colin sure doesn't. But I'm gonna break them up.
A young, horny, gay guy in the house.
We moved in together. We just bought this outrageously expensive house. I don't know what else I can do to prove my commitment to you.
I sense a little tension in the happy home.
There's something about that kid. I never trusted him from the moment I met him. This drink has quite a kick to it. Do you think it's getting hot in here? You're cute.
Oh, you're cute.
What do you want?
Big star-making role in your new series. An ironclad contract that says neither you nor Derek can fire me. So what do you say, Derek?
You son of a bitch!
You messed with the lives of every person in this room.
You'll never be a star.
I'll be a star. Damn you! Damn you!
Now,
All right, we are back with Bruce Hart, and thank you for that trailer of Homewrecker.
Okay. You know, I have to tell you something. That film's about 10 years old. We did a 10-year anniversary screening in Palm Springs, and it was amazing. I hadn't seen it in forever, and it was a really nice print, and the audience just like rolled with laughter, which was amazing, you know. I think that movie over time has really found an audience. It's one of the most popular streaming films right now on platforms. I got to tell you something, too. We're all sheltering in place right now.
Yes.
I forget sometimes that I've been in all this stuff. And, I forget that a lot of it is streaming. I'm starting to get a lot of fan email. And
Of
I'm like,
course.
what's all that? I realize because people are stuck in the house, so they're watching stuff, you know?
They're digging through and finding old stuff. We're talking to our friends right now, and they're starting to reconnect from, with old friends, especially through live streaming. We have a lot of friends that are musicians. So they're all starting now to play together. Reconnecting after 16 years, it is pretty darn fun.
You know, when we made Homewrecker, we did not shoot that movie on locations. We did something, we didn't even know what we were doing when we made that movie. I should have hired a line producer to help because I almost wound up in the hospital. But we rented actually a movie house, which they have in LA, and they're a big secret. They're a house in a suburb, but it's not really a house. And when you go inside, it almost has no walls. The staircase goes up, and it has all these openings in the ceiling so you can move the camera around. So you basically pay them, you sneak the camera in, through the back, you leave everything in there, and you just, every day you go to the set, it's quiet, so nobody sees, and you film. Isn't that amazing?
It
Oh, my
is.
goodness.
Oh my gosh, that is funny. So I have a quick quiz for you. Now I saw an interview you did about 7 years ago, and so you moved to LA from Michigan, okay?
Yes.
All right, and when you moved to LA from Michigan, you hope to A, break into soap operas, B, do cartoon voices, or C, become a recording artist.
I still know the answer. It was cartoon voices.
That's right. That's right. So
I even took a workshop with the guy who played Reuben Kincaid on the Partridge Family, and he thought I was very good because I was doing a Don Knotts imitation. Don't ask me to do it. But the business shifted so rapidly, they don't have those type of recording artists anymore. They use celebrity voices. Nobody does like Mel Blanc, remember he did Barney Elmer, but they don't have those anymore. So my dream died on the vine.
Oh, but now who inspired you to do cartoon voices of all things?
I have a kind of a unusual sounding voice. So people would always say, you know, when we're casting you, we want you for your voice. So I started thinking, yeah, well, maybe this voice I could play like this smart alecky kid, you know, hanging out, all right, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And maybe, and I actually have a really high upper register. So very quickly, I left this joke message on my brother's answering machine where I was doing all the voices of the Flintstones of an episode. And my brother's a movie director, so he cut all the voices and synced them to that Flintstones episode and sent me the clip. It's somewhere on my Facebook, and I'm doing like Betty and Wilma and Barney and Fred.
You're doing all the voices.
It was really fun. I wish that kind of career opportunity still existed, but it alas does not. So, yeah.
No, now they want individual actors for each voice yeah.
I feel like some of the heart and soul of cartoons has changed because you just have real actors talking. You know, my voice is distinctive. I was in Arizona not that long ago, and I was doing something non-LGBTQ related, but somebody came up to me and he goes, "You sound so familiar to me. Did we go to college together?" And I'm like, "How old are you?" And he told me his age. I said, "No, you're way younger than me." And then he goes, "Oh!" And he'd see me in I think, a movie, I think Saltwater. And so he went running over to get his friends. "Look, it's the guy from Saltwater."
You're famous. You know, it's so much fun. You've got all those credits. And,
yeah, it's fun.
All right, and so I have another question for you. What other occupation would you have gone into if you would not have gone into acting? Now wait, would you have been a brain surgeon, B, tree trimmer, or C, cabana boy?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm a little too old now to be a cabana boy, but back then, maybe that. Today, I'd probably be a tree trimmer just because I like to do manual labor. I like to do stuff, you know? Got off the head, I'm all set.
You actually answered brain surgeon 7 years ago. You'd be a brain surgeon.
Brain surgeon? What was I thinking?
That was pretty funny. Oh, all right. And I have one more pop quiz for you. All right.
Okay.
Who did you greatly admire growing up? Is it A, Katharine Hepburn, B, Joan Crawford, or C, Betty Davis?
I'm going to pick Joan Crawford.
Yes.
But I don't know. Is that correct?
You got it right. Yay! These are.
Tell you why though, not because she was a mean mother, but and not really because she was a famous star like a lot of the gay guys are like, "Oh, it's Joan Crawford, isn't she?" Well, I admired her ability to get publicity. I said a while ago she was the first movie actress, to turn herself into more of a personality. She associated herself with Pepsi, Yes. She became a lot like the Kardashians. She said, "I can't make money anymore because I'm 60 years old," or however old she was. But I bet I could figure something out. And she died. She had several $1 million and a nice home and all that. I mean, she did very well. She was smart. Yeah.
Did she marry to Coke Air or something like that? She married some famous guy and... yeah, she did very well.
Well, we have a clip, and we'd like to set it up a little bit. It's Nelson Van Eddy's bitchiest quips.
Okay. Now, Now, do you want to talk about what
Nelson
that is
Van
from?
Eddy?
Nelson Van Eddy from Old Dogs and New Tricks.
I'm going to just tell you something in all honesty. I was having a little career drought. And I also produce, so it's not that big a deal, but I donate money to other people's projects. I saw the pilot for Old Dogs, and I loved it so much. I just sent a note to Leon Acord, who is the producer, and he's also one of those central characters. And I said, I love your show. It's great. Thank you for doing something about older gay men. He goes, well, would you like to meet for lunch? And that's very rare. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So we met for lunch. We had a wonderful time. We chit-chatted and everything. And that was it. I went home. And then he called me, I don't know, a day or two later and said, don't get your hopes up, but we're thinking of bringing in kind of a bitchy character.
A catty.
Yeah, and it was Nelson. And we talked about it, real quick, I want to get this in. He said to me, I don't want you to play it natural like the rest of us. He said, we really want it to be a little more over the top. And I said, like those 1960s sitcoms where somebody comes in and goes, whoa, what are you doing today? He goes, yeah, we want it like that.
Campy.
I'm like, okay, I think I can do that.
How fun.
And I guess I did because I was only supposed to do 2 episodes, and I've ended up basically staying on for the whole run, so it's been fun.
Yes, okay, so we are going to watch this.
Let's watch Nelson in action.
All right.
I always love that sweater on you. I'm amazed it's lasted all these years. I thought bitches always travel in packs. Just win a beauty pageant? Yeah, right. As if. Bastard! Didn't you used to be Ross Stein? Please, like we don't know better than that. If it isn't the good, the bad, and the ugly awards hate happy, well-adjusted gay people, I will leave you 2 young things to it. Are you hitting on boys in the John? Good for you. What's next? Cruising the bus terminal?
Yeah, you know,
Connie! Are you trolling for another 25-year-old boy toy? Are you planning to adopt? Whoop-de-fucking-do for everybody. 50th birthday. 5. Oh, wow. How is it? I'm only 42. My office is much more comfortable. Right this way. Well, I can see your boy toy has apparently pounded you senseless. Nathan's sense of humor is as odd as his sense of style. Something good had to rub off. I am begging you, flame off. I can help you get back to where you were before your life turned into the Roman spring of Mrs. Stone. My sister has been married 5 times. See, everybody's happy. You'd rather be alone than rolling between the sheets with Damien? No!
miserable bitch!
My nose!
And we're back. Oh my gosh, that was pretty funny. That Old Dogs and New Tricks, and then you produced it.
No. I was absolutely just an actor for hire on that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was scared to death on the first day on the set. I'm like, they're going to send me home. I always feel that way when I don't have any control.
Yeah. I know that.
That show is produced just like a television show, in a good way. It's single camera, they have full makeup, it's a SAG show, and the cinematography on that show for a web series is above and beyond. And I've worked on other shows that are less so. This one, and the cinematographer is Kiko is his name, and he's really good with faces. So we look good. That pool fight scene, not a line on anyone's face. It's amazing.
No, that was great. Boy, you got smacked around a lot, but your character is pretty obnoxious. Right?
Falling in that pool was like getting into a car accident. It hurt so much to fall in that water. It was awful. And Greg Louganis kept coming up to me and saying, "Oh, Bruce, the water's really cold." He's really funny because I don't know if you're.
Water's really cold. So
I need to say something though. He got married 3 times, right? On this show, then on Entourage, and then in real life. But I married him first.
You married, okay. So you got that gold star. How is it working with the stars like that? Do you pinch yourself going, man, I can't believe the life I'm living? You know?
I sometimes am a bit in awe. You know, not every person that you meet looks in person like they do on camera. Greg does. Greg looks exactly the same in real life as he does on camera. And the same for Retanya Alda from Mommy Dearest. She plays my secretary. And I love Retanya. She and I have a really good working relationship. She's the same. We're very pragmatic about stuff, you know, when we're trying to get things done. And she's like me. We'll say, where's the camera? Do I look this way? Do I look that way? We want to make sure it all works, you know?
Yeah,
so we don't, yeah, it's just amazing. And Retanya's really had a huge catalog of work. She was in Deer Hunter, When a Stranger Calls, all kinds of, still, even today, episodic TV, and yet she came and did our show too. So, you know, bless her heart. I loved working with her.
Yeah. You know, I like people like that. Like, you're coming on our show, you're getting exposed to an audience, people that have, you know, might never have heard you. So, you know, we want to say hi to Elisa and, you know, everyone else that's watching. Thank you so much. And I believe my guy Kurt's watching. And so we want to say hi to everyone. Now, you want to talk about your new, you have a movie out called Reveal. Okay?
Yes.
And let's talk about that.
Yeah. Again, that's not one I produced. My agent didn't even submit me for that one. I was on the breakdowns, which is what all actors go on. And I was talking to my brother, Paul Hart, who's a movie director, and I'd done a bunch of roles. And I was trying to do more mainstream stuff. And we were at a screening, I don't want to say which one it was, and we were watching it. And my brother turned to me, and I was just a small part. He goes, "Did you enjoy yourself?" I said, "No, not really. It just really wasn't very much fun. I mean, it was a dinky little part." And he goes, "Why are you doing this? Why don't you just do stuff that you want to do? And if you don't work all the time, so what? You know, you still produce."
Right.
Well, then, lo and behold, this listing popped up for Reveal, and it was for Uncle Gary. And they said he was crazy, kind of flighty. And the movie's about this young man, it's not me, was bringing his partner over, his boyfriend over to meet the family for the first time. And in the midst of it all, there's a gender reveal party. Well, anyway, the whole family's a freak show, including my character. I had so much fun playing Gary. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it's a heartwarming movie. I referred to it as a gem. It's on the festival circuit. And it just recently got nominated for Best Ensemble. And they called out who's in the ensemble, and I'm in it. So
nice. Good for you. Yay.
And I need to just say this, Jeff Willey wrote and produced it, and he's also the star of it, which is interesting because he and I are very similar in that we'll produce stuff and be in it. And that's not really the norm. So I shout out to Jeff for casting me, because he said to me when I was on the set in one moment, he said, you know, until we saw your audition, we were going to remove the Gary character from the film because we just couldn't get anybody to nail it. And he goes, "I saw your audition and that was it." And I'm like, "Tell me more."
Yeah. Oh.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, toot my own horn. You know, you've got to do it. You just have to do it. You have to, you know.
You know, I don't know if people know this, but everybody, there's lots of actors at much higher level than me, but everybody auditions. We audition all the time. I auditioned for NCIS last week.
Oh, good.
We auditioned. I don't talk about it on social media because so what? We're supposed to audition, right?
Right. That's what you
talk
do.
About that's already filmed or a project that I'm actually producing myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to say, "Oh, I'm going to go audition for this part," because then, you know, if you don't get it, you got to, you know, "I didn't get it." So it's better just to talk about the stuff you do get.
I know, it's humiliating.
Yes, it is. So we know that you have a favorite show. I know what your favorite show is.
My favorite show?
And it's the same as Cindy's. So I'm going to have
not a show, a movie.
A movie.
A film.
Well, isn't
Yeah,
It's one of my favorites.
Romeo?
I have to tell you, I invented Post-it notes.
When that was in the theater, I was obsessed. I went to it so many times. And then I started dragging friends, and finally it left the theater, but it went to the $1 theater, which we used to have here. I went to it there, and then I finally bought a copy because there's something about that film. It checks all the boxes, wanting to go back. And there's a scene in there, she goes, wait a minute, don't turn that in. Do you think it makes any sense that it's 10 years later, we're still living together, I'm a cashier and you're unemployed? It's just such a funny line,
Yeah. So that is Romy and Michelle's high school reunion. So,
I want to mention something. Do you mind?
No, you go right ahead.
You had said that Leon Acord and I have been in other projects, and we have. I produced a movie called Open about open relationships. And he plays my best friend in that, versus in Old Dogs and New Tricks, we're mortal enemies.
Right.
So it was fun to work with him and play nice for a change, I can't say enough nice things about Leon. He has a book out right now, too, called Celebrity, about his coming out and his career. But we just work really well together. We have the same work ethic. We want to get it done, but we want to get it right. So.
Right. Well, good. Oh, my gosh. So I have to ask you, how's your weather in L.A.?
The weather here is nice. It's kind of balmy. And I'm in Long Beach, so it's a beach city, so I'm getting all the little breezes. I haven't turned the AC on yet, but I might, just because, I don't know, I might be getting a little sweaty. I'm not sure. Did I tell you I was on Where the Bears Are also? Have you seen that show?
Where the Bears Are? No, we haven't. I looked at it a little bit, but no, I haven't.
It's pay-per-view. I did the whole last season. I was stunned. But I just wanted to mention this because the show everybody, and it's not safe for work. I just need to be really clear about that one because it's a little bit more, it goes over to the other side of being a little more sexual. Not my character, but they did a holiday episode after it was all over with, and they called us all back. And it's like Dick Van Dyke when they used to do a musical episode. It's a Christmas or holiday episode, and I get to sing in it, and I hadn't sung in years, and it's just so fun to watch, We sing this song called A-List Gays, and I was just at it the other day, and I'm like, and it's, you have to pay to watch it, so I don't want to ask them if I can put a clip on social media, because they want to off their show, but I might see if they'll let me post a clip just because it's funny,
That would be fun to watch.
Guys are really good at what they do. Good business people,
Yeah, good. So you do your shows are on Amazon. So Reveal, it's on Amazon, right?
Reveal is nowhere yet because here's how it works, at least in the world today. You make a film.
Okay.
You put it on to film festivals first, and then eventually it either gets distributed to theaters or it goes to streaming. Usually it goes to streaming. In the old days, when I made Homewrecker, it was very different, and it was right on the edge, because we didn't have streaming yet. If you ever watch Homewrecker all the way through, people are using flip phones, nobody's texting, because then it wasn't a thing. You would go to a film festival and hope to get a distributor, and the distributor would try to get you a broadcast deal, because television was still broadcast, maybe it'll be on the local channel. Then they would try to do a limited release to the theater, and then finally they do DVDs, which nobody wants anymore. So now it just goes streaming right away, yeah.
Wow.
I have mixed feelings about streaming as a producer, and to a degree as an actor, because it's very hard to make money now.
Yeah.
And for LGBT films, you'd think, there's all this stuff. There really isn't. To a degree, Amazon Prime hosts LGBT films, but they don't market them very well.
Promote them, okay.
And then all the other platforms that are more gay-oriented, they're all selective. Some are only for young people. Some are a little bit more like Cinemax, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
But I am going to put in a plug for one that I think is amazing, and you can get it right on your smart TV. It's called Gay Binge TV.
Gay Binge.
And, they have the two movies I've produced. They have Homewrecker and Open on there. But they have a huge catalog. And it's diverse. It's diverse in every way you can imagine. Racially diverse. They have old shows about older people, younger people, documentaries, episodic. I don't know how much it is a month. It's really cheap, though, because I never even noticed the bill. But I just gay binge TV. I think is kind of going to be the way some of these other platforms go, because it's right on your television set.
Yeah, and if they do not a pay-per-view, but a pay-per-channel, then everybody is covered. So that is.
But a lot of stuff is on Prime. I was on a TV series called Boys Town not that long ago.
In Canada. Canadian.
Yeah, right, the Canadian show, but it was filmed here that's on Prime. A couple television movies. I was in one called Unfallen, playing the adoption counselor, believe it or not.
With Michael Madsen?
From Reservoir Dogs, right? Was he in Reservoir? Was Michael Madsen in Reservoir Dogs? That was the guy.
Yeah, he's in it. I can't remember everybody. It's sort of, you make them and you forget them, sometimes. I was on a flight and somebody was grilling me, the flight attendant, about a movie I was in. I can't remember which one, and I couldn't remember the plot. And he seemed so strict. But I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't wash my stuff, That would be creepy.
Oh, my God, yeah. Be like, hey, I can't remember every episode of my life. Yeah.
My default is usually we had fun, because I really, I can count on one hand the number of times I didn't have fun, and sometimes you don't have fun. But we're not really there to have fun anyway. We're there to make something that other people hopefully. But I have worked on some sets, and I'll tell you about one, because I won't say what it is. I think I talked about it on Facebook. The lead actor was high as a kite, and this one's not on streaming, so you can't find it. But it was just, God, it was awful. I was so mad. And I couldn't really do anything because, I'm down here and the lead actor's up, up here in terms of the director. And I said, look, if he can't be on time and sober, I'm just going to hang out over here. I am not going to keep coming on the set and being ready to do my stuff and then waiting while you figure out a workaround because he doesn't know his lines or he can't walk or all the other things that were going on.
That's so sad.
I never worked for that director again either, though. He probably was mad at me, but I don't care, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened to the actor anymore. He hasn't worked in a while, so he's a big name, so I don't want to say anything.
No, don't. We don't talk about people like that, so you just keep that stuff to yourself. And we'll just...
I will say one thing. It's a tough business for actors, for directors, for producers, for the crew. And I understand that people have these pressures on them. So, sometimes people will have a drink or something because there's so much insecurity in the business. And you watch yourself age. I mean, I'm a lot younger in Homewrecker than I am now. And sometimes it's a little weird to say, oh, wow, I had hair, or my chin was tighter.
Right.
And things.
Well, like the Queen, she turned 93 and they're showing home movies of her when she was young. And it's like, oh my God, that, like looking at yourself when you're a kid, it's just amazing. And then looking in the mirror and going, oh, but you still look great. You look very youthful.
Thank you. I think opportunities for women in Hollywood to a degree are less. I think there's much more of an age discrimination than there is. And it's unfortunate. And I'm seeing changes because, we have a rebirth of the Me Too generation, what am I trying to say? You know what I'm saying? More awareness, and people like Meryl Streep and to a degree Glenn Close are kind of charting those waters and saying, no, we can play other parts. We don't need to be the mom.
Right. We don't need to be the young girlfriend of the, because let's face it, most of the older actors want younger girlfriends in the Bond movies or whatever.
I'm telling you. Which is one of the reasons why most actors won't reveal their age. And they took it off of IMDb. You cannot age. Gabrielle Carteras, who's president of SAG-AFTRA now, she said, no, it's got to come off. We don't want people looking at it and saying, I'll tell you a secret. I went in, I do a lot of TV pilots, and I never talk about them because they don't get picked up. I've done 6 TV. One of them, the character was supposed to be, I think, 40, and I'm not 40. So I went in to read, and they said, are you 40? I thought, yes, I am 40. So then they had me back in again. I said, they said the same thing again. They said, are you 40? I said, I am 40. So imagine 6 auditions. The last one's with all of the people that are responsible, and this casting person, I read in the casting person said to me, I just have one question before you go, Bruce. I said, yes. And she said, you're 40, right? I said, yeah, I am. So I laughed And I'm in the car, and this really, I was crying. I'm like, oh God, they know I'm not 40. I'm not going to get the part. Oh boy. Anyway, my agent called. My phone rang. My agent called. He goes, you got the part.
Oh my God. Well, you probably were just a couple of years off, right?
Yeah. Joan Collins said she would often get parts by lying vehemently about her age, and I love that quote because it's true,
Doesn't matter how you look, it's how old you are. That's funny.
Yeah, and I got sent home a while ago. They wouldn't even let me read after calling me in. I don't know why they called me in either because they saw my photos, but they said, you look too young to play the dad. And they brought the actress in. They said, see, you guys look like you're the same age. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. Blah, 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 blah.
You never thought it would be hard to get a role in Hollywood because you look too young.
Yeah. A lot of stuff doesn't go to series, and a lot of times you get attached to a project. They'll say, the movie has Bruce Hart, so-and-so, and so-and-so. And then it doesn't get made. I just wasted a lot of time on a film, which I really didn't want to do anyway, but, it was a decent role. And I was going to play opposite a name actor. I'm not going to mention any names here.
No.
The whole thing went into the ether, After it was all set up, they booked our hotels, our sets, and everything. And they said...
They ghosted you?
They said the project's on hold, and then I'm like, if it's on hold, it's not happening because you can't hold your actors. And sure enough, nothing. I don't know how that happens. I think money maybe is part of it,
But you got to set part of your life aside just in case. You got to be flexible.
When I did Where the Bears Are, I had a big vacation plan, but you don't turn down a 7-episode story arc.
No.
With a good paying show too. Where the Bears Are pays really well, and I said, no, I'll cancel my vacation. That's what you do, because you want to work.
Yeah, you got your priorities.
Go on vacation another time, right?
That's right. Go on a better vacation.
Well, my dream vacation was Italy this year, and I actually had already booked it when all this, unfortunate pandemic was happening, and I had to postpone it. And I don't even know if I want to go to Italy now because there's so much sadness.
Yeah.
Death. So we'll have to see. It would definitely be next year, but it was a dream of mine to go to Italy. So I don't know.
Well, once they open the U.S. back up, there's plenty of national parks. There's plenty to see here in America. And speaking of that, it looks like we are wrapping up on our time, 6:44. And we want to tell everyone, I forgot all about it. If the red light is on in the upper left-hand corner, we're live. And so I'm Silver Shells.
I'm Cynthia Jenkins.
And we are the Bling sisters. And this has been Silver Shells Bling Party with our guest, Bruce L Hart, the actor. So nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I can't believe the time flew so fast.
I know. And we got one more clip. We have one more clip.
We have a clip of Outtakes.
Oh, okay.
So, is this Outtakes from...
Outtakes from various projects.
So you probably know about it. It's just to...
People are probably going to swear, so FYI.
Yeah.
Okay, there was some swearing.
Not suitable for work. All right,
Yeah.
So we're just putting that right out there right now, and hide the children.
Hide the children, everyone.
No.
Here comes Bruce and his Outtakes.
All right,
Goodbye, Bruce.
bye,
Thank
everyone.
you so much.
We love you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay.
Do you need me?
Yeah,
Yes,
here you
we
are.
need you.
We need you, Bruce.
I'm sorry, the outtake reel is not running right now. So, do you have anything funny to say? Do you have some jokes or something that we can end on a high note with?
I actually want to tell you what outtakes are like. half the time they're really fun. Usually you're shooting a really long day and you'll just start to mess up. So I think some of those outtakes were from Homewrecker, and the star of that movie is really Dylan Fox. And Dylan is one of those people that never cracks up, ever. So my whole mission in life on that movie was, because we had a long shoot schedule, was to make him laugh. I did it over and over and over, and finally we got in trouble. My brother was directing. My brother pulled me aside. He goes, "If you guys cannot stop laughing, I don't know what I'm going to do. We're not going to finish the film. We're going to go."
You're wasting our time. You're being silly.
I love it.
It's really fun. And Peter Shaliga plays my hubby in that movie, and he also does again in Open. And Peter never cracks up, and he rarely swears. He's just like a real nice guy. But there's one take in there where he's trying to save it, but you know, you can't save it. Once you start messing it up, it's over with. So finally he says the F word.
You did it. You finally did it, you know? You got somebody to... Oh, that's funny.
My eye, so I'm being good on this show, but in the outtakes, you'd be surprised. I'm less cordial.
Well, you can find the outtakes. Is it on YouTube?
On YouTube.
YouTube. You can go and Google or go on YouTube and put in Bruce L Hart, and you'll see all sorts of stuff for him.
You know, it's the internet is forever, I guess, right? Because there's all kinds of stuff. I found clips from something I did for the BET channel. I'm like, oh, I forgot all about that. You know, you just don't remember everything you do, right?
Yeah, you don't. You see pictures and you're like, oh yeah.
So I'm gonna run the Nelson clip again on our outgoing.
All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna run the first one again. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching. I love you. Stay safe, stay sane, and stay healthy. Be sure to put your mask on and stay 6 feet away from everybody.
Everybody, get away. Get away.
This is actually a split screen.
That's right.
And so I'm actually on the other side of the room over there.
Okay.
So, I'll sign off, yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Goodbye, Bruce.
Goodbye, Bruce. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
I just love that sweater on you. I'm amazed it's lasted all these years. I thought bitches always travel in packs. Just win a beauty pageant? Yeah, right. As if. Bastard! Didn't you used to be Ross Stein? Please, like we don't know better than that. If it isn't the good, the bad, and the ugly. Awards hate happy, well-adjusted gay people. I will leave you two young things to it. Are you hitting on boys in the John? Good for you. What's next? Cruising the bus terminal?
Yeah, you know,
Connie! Are you trolling for another 25-year-old boy toy? Are you planning to adopt? Whoop-de-fucking-do for everybody. 50th birthday. 5. Oh, wow. How is it? I'm only 42. My office is much more comfortable. Right this way. Well, I can see your boy toy has apparently pounded you senseless. Nathan's sense of humor is as odd as his sense of style. Something good had to rub off. I am begging you, flame off. I can help you get back to where you were before your life turned into the Roman spring of Mrs. Stone. My sister has been married 5 times. See, everybody's happy. You'd rather be alone than rolling between the sheets with Damien? No!
miserable bitch!
My nose!